Hello everyone. So in today's quick Java tutorial, we are going to learn how to find the sum of all elements in an array. So this is a super useful skill, especially when you are working with numbers in Java. So let's dive into it. So let's come into our code. So as we all know, our program execution always starts with a main function in Java. So we just initialize one integer array here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and we initialize sum to 0. So we initialize the sum to 0 and we do one thing, we'll just loop through an array. We loop through an array to add all elements to sum. So we just put one for loop here and initialize for int I equals 0 and I is less than numbers dot length I plus plus, and here you can mention sum is equal to sum plus numbers array I. Okay, and now we can output the result. That is fine. So what we did here, we just first declared an array of integers that is called numbers. Then we just initialize our sum to 0. Then we used a for loop to go through each element in an array and add it to the sum, and finally we printed the result. So when we run this code, so we could see the sum is 150. So when you will add this 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50, the answer will be 150. So it did the same. So let me explain you this. So very first thing, like we declared one array sum class. So this is a class declaration. Array sum is the name of the class that it contains the program logic. So in Java, all code must reside inside a class, and here we are defining a class to calculate the sum of numbers in an array. Then this is a public static void main. This is the main method. It is the entry point for every Java application. Now we could see this integer array of numbers. So here we declared and initialized an array called numbers that hold integer values 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. And this integer, if you see this integer array, so this indicates that the number is an array of integers, and the curly braces are used. This curly braces, within the curly braces we can see some values. So these curly braces are used to initialize the array with the specific values. And if we see int sum is equal to 0, this initializes a variable sum to 0. And the reason why we took this, so we will use sum to keep track of all total values as we loop through the array and add each number in it. Now we initialized a loop, so this is a for loop that helps us in iterating over the array elements one by one. Int I is equal to 0 initializes a loop counter I at 0. That will be the first index of an array. I is less than numbers dot length is the condition to continue looping where numbers dot length returns the total number of elements in an array, so which is 5 in this case. The loop will run as long as I is less than 5, and if you see I plus plus increases I by 1 after each loop iteration. So we move index from index 0 to 1, 2 and so on until it reaches 5. And if we see sum plus equal to numbers I inside the loop, this line adds each element of the array numbers I to the sum. So number I basically refers to the value of the index I of an array. On first iteration, let's suppose it is number 0. So this is the location for the value that is 10. And when we give, so sum plus is equal to 10 adds 0 plus 10. So initially sum is equal to 0 and numbers I at the 0th location for the numbers array there is 10. So 0 plus 10 is equal to 10. On the second iteration, number 1 is 20. So sum is equal to 10 plus 20. So that will become 30. So this continues until all array elements are added to the sum. So this line prints the value of sum after the loop has finished running. At this point, sum contains the total of all the elements in an array, which is in this case 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50 is equal to 150. And this message, the sum, is printed followed by the value of the sum. So when you run this program, as we already saw, it will show you the output. The sum is 150. So I hope this session helped you understand the steps involved in solving this problem and how to implement it in Java. Do remember, programming is about solving problems, and every small project you complete sharpens your skills. Thank you.